my name is Marcello. Welcome to the Source Audio Video Design Group's YouTube channel. Today we will look at the Woo Audio WA8 Eclipse headphone tube amplifier and DAC from our friends at Woo Audio. This video will primarily discuss the innovative design, build quality, and how it sounds with several headphones. While not a new product, the WA8 is the smallest tube amplifier in the Woo Audio lineup, which is designed and assembled in New York. This ingenious design is excellent for lovers of headphone listening and tube amplification who travel, want a small desktop setup at work or home office, a space-saving bedside rig for the nightstand, or enjoy the ability to listen to tube amplification via battery power when plugging in isn't possible. With set Class A triode topology with ultra-efficient OCC single crystal copper output transformers, you get authentic tube quality sound that is rich, engaging, and holographic. Paired with its internal Saber DAC, you can listen to up to 24-bit 384 files or DSD up to 256.11.2. The XMOS X-Core Audio asynchronous clocking USB Type-B delivers an impressively quiet performance via USB, and the amplifier's noise floor, even when listening with more sensitive earphones and headphones, is extremely quiet. The WA8 allows you to use 2 or 3 tubes when listening to give you 2 distinctly different qualities of sound, which I will discuss in a moment when we get into my sound impressions. Housed behind a Gorilla Glass cover, the 2 sub-miniature 6S31B power tubes and the 6021 driver tubes are rated for approximately 5,000 hours. When listening via the 3 tubes, the WA8 outputs 250 milliwatts at 32 ohms, 350 milliwatts at 50 ohms, 180 milliwatts at 120 ohms, 120 milliwatts at 300 ohms, and 80 milliwatts at 600 ohms. The anodized aluminum chassis is available in black or gold as seen in this video. The dimensions of the WA8 are 6.69 inches long by 3.6 inches wide and 1.69 inches deep, weighing 2.4 pounds, and it looks and feels like a hefty gold bar. On the left side of the Eclipse, you have an analog line in for use with other DACs or source components. Underneath the line in, you have the USB in, followed by the power switch on and off switch and the DC charge port. On the front of the unit, you have a 5-light display that shows the battery life of the WA8, the housing for the tubes covered by Gorilla Glass, and the smooth turning volume control. Looking at the right side of the Eclipse, you see the volume control, along with a 1/4 inch and 3.5 millimeter headphone output. On the top of the WA8, you see the venting ports for the tubes, which should not be covered to allow for air circulation and the dissipation of heat from the tubes, along with a switch to select between 2-tube mode or 3-tube mode. The design of the WA8 allows you to move the amplifier around the house quickly and is compatible with Apple iOS and Android devices. The internal premium lithium-ion battery, which Panasonic makes, offers up to 4 hours of music playback as well as intelligent charging capability, which allows you to listen to the Eclipse when it is plugged in by drawing power from the internal battery, essentially reducing the noise floor of the amplifier when listening. According to Woo Audio, if the battery needs replacement after several years of use, it can be shipped safely in its included hard case and box back to Woo, who can have the battery swapped out with a new one. If you are the type of listener that enjoys tube rolling, you can get a user-replaceable tube kit with the tools needed to swap the tubes of the WA8. However, the included tubes sounded fantastic, and changing or rolling tubes isn't necessary to achieve a delightful quality of sound. The included tubes will improve in sound as they burn in, and according to Woo Audio, once they have reached 100 to 200 hours, they should be entirely burned in. In addition to the hard plastic case, the WA8 Eclipse includes an AC charger, a standard USB-C to B cable, a quick start guide, and a 3-year limited warranty. Current prices of the WA8 will be listed in the links below in the video description. So let's talk about how the WA8 sounds. I listen to the Eclipse with several of my Qobuz and Tidal music playlists with a few headphones in the house, and I will share some of my notes from my music-based impressions of the sound of the WA8 with you. Unless I specified otherwise, most of my impressions were formed with the 3 tubes engaged. In addition, we recently created a video comparing the Sennheiser IE200 to the Sennheiser IE600 earphones. The WA8 was used as a reference amplifier and DAC for that video, which I will link on the end screen of this video if you would like further impressions on the WA8 sound with earphones. Spoiler alert, the IE600, IE200, and WA8 are a fantastic combo. Many listeners would agree that the Sennheiser HE800S can sound a bit bright or sharp in the upper treble regions with insufficient bass to balance the top end. The WA8 pairs with the HD800S like peanut butter with jelly, smoothing out the top end and giving some extra heft in the lower frequencies. Listening to Pink Floyd's Dark Side of the Moon, the heartbeat on Speak to Me has noticeably more sub-bass and impact. When Breeze starts playing, the open, airy, and incredible soundstage of the HD800S takes life in all the right ways with excellent imaging and beautiful decay to the notes. The vocals have a great presence, sounding slightly forward but never harsh. Switching to the 2-tube mode gives less warmth to the sound with less dynamic impact from the bass regions. For my taste with the HD800S, I found the 3-tube mode to be the sweet spot audibly. Listening to On the Run, a super trippy track incorporating unique imaging and soundstage production that lets you hear how speakers or headphones present the stage, is impressive on the HD800S with the WA8. When the song transitioned to Time, I listened carefully to how the bells and chimes would be presented. The HD800S, when paired with the wrong amp or DAC, can sound sharp during that sequence. I'm happy to say the WA8 presented the chimes and bells brilliantly, and what was even more impressive was the body and texture of the guitar when it dropped in around the 1-minute mark. The drums seemingly floated in the air, dancing across the HD800S's soundstage. I knew I was listening to a special combination when the lyrics dropped in. For those of you looking for a smaller desktop tube amp to pair with your HD800S, I highly recommend you give the WA8 a listen. Listening to my other dynamic reference headphones, the closed-back Focal Stelia, I cued Depeche Mode and Personal Jesus off their Violator album. The bass line didn't sound as dynamic and punchy as I'm used to hearing when paired with the WA8 in either mode. However, the soundstage of the Stelia, while still intimate sounding, had more breathing room and beautiful decay. Listening to Dangerous on the same album, I am struck by how resolving and detailed the Stelia sounds with the all-tube design of the WA8, allowing them to present all the information on the track while still sounding musical. The dynamics are tight and fast, however the bass doesn't have as much authority as I'm used to hearing. Listening to the LCD5, arguably the most resolving pair of headphones I have in the house, with the most forward mid-range, a relaxed treble, and a neutral bass region. The WA8 was an enjoyable combo, giving a bit more warmth to the bass regions and allowing for a bit more bloom and body to the low end. Listening to Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, the vocals are the star of the show, with superb vocal timbre and presence without sounding harsh. The strings and cymbal splashes are well defined on the soundstage with a good tone. The more immediate sounding nature of the LCD5 takes on a more relaxed quality of sound, making them still highly detailed and resolving, with slightly more natural decay and less immediacy than a solid-state amplifier. Listening to Agnes Obel's Camera Rolling from her Myopia album, the all-tube set design of the WA8 and the very mid-range centric sound of the LCD5 are highly intoxicating to listen to, with Obel's vocals floating across the soundstage, drawing you deeper into the song. Listening to The Curse from her Aventine album, the piano, percussion, violin, viola, and cello sound brilliant combined with the ethereal vocals of Obel. Listening next to the Mezzi Elite and Snarky Puppy's Lingus, the WA8 injects a richer quality of sound into the Elite with a bit more bloom from the bass regions while still sounding expansive, detailed, and well separated. The WA8 is a lifelike and genuinely fatigue-free listening experience, a quality most set topology tube amps do so well. The sound is enveloping, transparent, rich, and detailed with beautiful decay, making most headphones sound more natural and less digital. Listening to Unholy from Sam Smith with the Mezzi Elite was an overwhelming amount of bass bloom with the WA8, so much so that I felt maybe heavy bass-produced pop music might not be a good fit with the Elite and the WA8 combo. Then I remembered the 2-tube mode, and I immediately switched to the 2-tube mode and was much happier with the overall quality of sound, tightening up the bass some and presenting a bit less rich sound while still keeping the other benefits of the tube amp design. Lastly, I wanted to listen to the headphone from Head Audio, as they are the most difficult to drive headphones I currently have in the house. I cued Crimson Tide 160 BPM from Hans Zimmer's Live in Prague album. Unfortunately, the WA8 was not up to delivering the proper current required by the headphone to sound optimal. Volume levels on the volume dial needed to be pushed pretty high to around 8 to reach optimal listening levels. However, the drivers distorted and the WA8 was being pushed past its limit with a more demanding head. For my personal preferences, the Sennheiser HD800S was my favorite pairing of all the headphones I listened to with the WA8, and I suspect it would also pair well with other 300 ohm dynamic driver headphones. I also enjoyed the Mezzi Elite and LCD5 with the WA8, however I felt those two headphones sounded vastly better when paired with Wu Audio's WA23 tube amplifier we reviewed on our channel recently, which I will link on the end screen of this video if you would like to check it out. That amp, however, is significantly more expensive than the WA8 Eclipse, with much larger transformers and tubes. As an HD800S owner, there is a remarkable synergy between those headphones and the WA8 Eclipse you should hear if you haven't. You may find the combo to be as enjoyable as I do. So as always, it will come down to your preferences, and I encourage you to visit your local Wu dealer and give the WA8 Eclipse a listen with your headphones to formulate your impressions, as we all hear a bit differently and differ on what we value or prefer in sound quality. We have the WA8 available to demo in our 10,000 square foot showroom to pair with numerous headphones, so if you're in SoCal, we would love to see you stop by and hang out with us and have a listening party. The WA8 Eclipse is available for sale in the video description links below if you can't make it to the store. If you are interested in trading up your old headphones or other gently used audio gear for a new set of headphones, check out the links in the video description to our trade-up program, and don't forget we will price match other authorized dealers. We have some cool videos coming this year with new product announcements, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay in the know. From $150 earphones to multi-million-dollar home audio, cinema, and automation systems, TSAV is a hi-fi enthusiast paradise for building the system of your dreams. In the description below, I will link to our website and more info on the Woo Audio WA8 and other products discussed during this video. So let's start the conversations in the video comments on what you think of the design and sound of the WA8. Do you have a favorite headphone pairing? While you're there, smash that like button for us. Until next time, friends, remember, let the music be your guide.